Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping you're having a great day. I am here to talk about entertainment news that interests me. Huzzah! So, if you like this sort of content, you want to see more, you want to hear more, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on all notifications. So, let's talk about Kevin Feige's last act as Marvel Studios CEO by directing Avengers Secret Wars himself. Now, I do like Marvel. I like some of their stuff that they've done. Most of the stuff is shit now. I'm not a big fan of, but for part of me, until they say this is the last Marvel film, I think I'm going to be watching what I like when I can. Now, this entire article I'm going to have to read in part because it's like a recap of, oh, did you know that this happened? And did you know that this happened? And blah, 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 blah. But there are some key points that Jamie makes that we're going to talk about. It's been 15 years. It still feels like either it's a little bit longer or shorter that they've made all these films out. Personally, I've watched most of the Marvel films. Some I've kind of skipped, some I've just not been interested in whatsoever. So it kind of starts off by saying, like, it's Joss Whedon who started all of this, or kind of like finished it off with Avengers and stuff like that. I don't like Joss Whedon. I think he's a piece of shit, and no one likes him anymore. It's kind of weird since he made like Buffy, everybody loved him, and now no one cares about him whatsoever. When was the last time you heard about Joss Whedon? These days we're deep into the multiverse saga. Again, it feels very weird going into the multiverse saga. It's not really one that I kind of like, but again, it's it's making money and stuff, so good job, good job. These days, we are deep in the multiverse saga, which is leading toward the next season finale, the superhero Avengers Secret Wars, based on the limited run comic book series and accompanying toy line in the mid-80s. Set for release on the May 1st, 2026. The question is who Marvel will trust with the responsibility ensuring the latest finale meets expectations just as the Avengers and the Avengers Endgame did before it, by keeping in mind that Phase 4 yielded more mixed results in the past. Now, Phase 4, I was not a big kind of fan of. I feel like there was some kind of okay films, especially like the new Black Panther film. Spider-Man, obviously, is that kind of classed as it? Like No Way Home, is that classed as it in it? But majority of the other films were a bit shit. I didn't really like Ant-Man and Quantumania. That's very kind of skippable. I haven't seen Guardians, but again, I'm not really invested. Shang-Chi, really kind of liked the beginning, but stopped watching. Couldn't be bothered with it in the end. But it was actually quite an interesting one. After all, I would get the Russo brothers back. Like, I would say, guys, come back. You come back and do Secret Wars because we need this. Like, I really liked Endgame and Infinity War. Those were really good films. So why not get them back? Bring them back. Like, that it's going to make so much money. But, if you mess this up, or you've messed this so bad, people are just going to be like, what the fuck? So they're pretty much, this article is just going over and saying, right, what about this person? What about this? So Sam Raimi, like, I wasn't a big fan of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I felt like, I don't know, like it just didn't kind of appeal. I've never really liked Sam Raimi at all. I generally kind of think that, maybe he was good back then, but now I'm just a bit not thing. John Watts, maybe, like you could have him because he did Spider-Man No Way Home. I would just generally go for the Russo brothers. Like, they did their stuff. This article basically just goes over everything who they've like directed and stuff like that. Me personally, I would either say the Russo brothers because for what they did, and I've already said this in the video, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I would probably say the Russo brothers because they did so well with Endgame and Infinity War. But like, it's like, if Kevin Feige would direct it, could he do it and stuff like that? But it says it's interesting here. Besides being the closing chapter of Phase 6, it's going to be the most jam-packed installment with the current roster of MCU characters, and that there isn't a doubt in our minds that the likes of Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans will return. I don't like, as much as I love seeing Iron Man come back, I think the way that he sacrificed himself would be the way forward. But to get him back into the MCU, hey, you're another version of Tony that is exactly like Tony, that maybe has some ginger in his beard or is like this and he thinks exactly like you, but we got rid of it type thing. I don't know. I don't know if I want to see like Robert Downey Jr. come back. Even the same thing like with Chris Evans. Given the scope of Secret Wars, the looming 2026 release in May, which will be here quicker than you think, it shouldn't be too much longer until Marvel announces a director. We're not saying it will be Kevin Feige. So again, like when you say this, like I love these articles and it says like, could Kevin Feige's last act as Marvel Studios CEO be directing Secret Wars himself? And then it's just like, well, we're not saying it will be. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why? Either way, I am very I want to see what goes on in this. Like, it's interesting that they've brought this up. I would say Russo brothers, just fucking get them in, have them like do it. That's my kind of thought anyway. So I'm gonna leave it up to you. Who do you think should direct this? Would it be like Kevin Feige, or would you kind of say the Russo brothers? Would you kind of go with anyone else listed in this, even though I didn't mention them? But who would you like to see come back and literally direct all of this? Let me know down below in those comments. If you like this video, hit like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.